Hi guys. I decided to come and go for a walk. This is Lou. December 6th. Probably around 1:30 p.m. I got a weird song playing in my head. I have to listen to the words and find out what's going on there. Hey bird dog, get away from my something or other trail, or you're on the wrong trail. It's an old song, not one that would have been in my, I wouldn't have chose that to listen to. But I must have listened to it. I wonder how old I was. Trying to get the words. Anyway, in my thoughts that I don't know what that song is saying, I'm thinking, love and people, and how many of them are there? And it's like one big, I'm just having these thoughts in my head, okay? Like they show the atoms and all these different little things that make up something else. The particles, I guess, like, what is water? H2O, what does that mean? So it's different particles mixed together, right? Anyway, yes, I partook. And now my chest hurts. So there you go. Shouldn't have done that. Or I should have stopped at a little. And that's the other thing. If you get the high shelf, the top shelf, you don't need very much. Even a half a hit. But it still expands your lungs. Okay, here's a lovely little neighborhood. I'll be leaving it soon. And I'll be going to another part of the country. It's beautiful there too. And it is part of the beginnings of America. Like the 13 colonies and stuff like that. And then as they spread out, I don't know where Philadelphia is and all that, but it seems like they're pretty big, like government-wise and stuff. Anyway, my daughter lives there. And 4 of my grandchildren, because one of my grandchildren is in the Army. I'm not even sure where he is. Love you, Kevin. Meant for my grandson, who was named after, my first husband, Kevin. Anyway, I've had a mental block about that name. For years I did anyway. And I still probably do, because it's like that name was taken out of my vocabulary. It was erased from my dictionary. So it's like, what's that word? It's the truth. It's weird. Mental blocks. I mean, I would meet people named Kevin, but I could never remember their name when I went to talk to them again. Okay, so I don't know if you remember, but I showed you a bunch of trees in the neighborhood that had leaves. And I said one day those will be gone. Well, here we have the twigs. I'm going to back up a little bit. And then I'm showing you the rock on I was going to say the lawn because it rhymed, but see, there's a little square lawn. Keep off the grass, so it's real grass. And then those stones and the twigs of the trees that are left. And the shape of that one's going to have quite the shape. And when it gets older, depending on how big it gets, see, then it'll have shade over the sidewalk. Lovely. Kids are out of school. Now look at this neighborhood. Look at this guy here. They've got their lawn done pretty good, right? There's the Santa Claus way up there. Is that a spaceship? Anyway, it's cute. And that drummer boy's even drumming. And there you got these little guys. So I bet this looks good at night. I gotta make sure I don't fall down. And there's the nativity. It's a nice neighborhood. My first house I bought, guess how much we paid for it? That thing's worth a whole lot of money now. $17,150, I believe, was the price of that little house. There's some more things over there. You know, back then I was a kid. I moved into my first house before I turned 18. I'm pretty sure that that's the truth. It was a brand new neighborhood, brand new. We were the first house in there, I think. And look at that grass. See, it's been mowed, but it's been left tall, which I like that, after those roots get out of it. But I haven't been out and about in a while, walking. I know I always stop in the middle of my thoughts and go to something else, so I've forgotten what I was talking about. And a new song pops in, you know, because it's I go walking after midnight, searching for you. Do 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 do. Anyway, I don't know the words or the melody, so I should not ought to be singing, right? This is the side road, fixing to be up to Nancy's Road. I thought about going down to the river, but I don't think so. Yes, I need to replace things that I do with other things, but I have been doing pretty good. Depends on what it is that you would like out of this channel. But it's not depending on that. That depends on how you will like it, is what I'm saying. I'm going to go back down by Nancy's house. Okay, so here's this tree without its leaves. I shouldn't be on this driveway. But I just want you to see the tree. Not pretty? If you can see the limbs, they're all in a swirl. That tree's going to have some shape. It's going to be a good looking tree. So for I know good and well it's going to pull up the sidewalk before it's done. But there's just not enough room between all the sidewalk stuff. I think it needs room, and then you have to, in order to get their roots to grow down, they have to have enough water. And they have to have a way for the water to get down there, because the roots will stretch to where the water is. That's what I understand, anyway. Okay, so there's my sister's house. She put out a different flag on her pole for the holidays. Home for the holidays is what it says. I don't know if you can see it. don't know how to, do that thing that makes the screen grow. Yeah, I haven't been walking in a while. And I've been trying to do a little bit of that Zumba. It's beginner friendly is what it is. And what you do, and I think I probably already told you, is you just do what you can. Can't do what she's doing and for how long she's doing it, that's okay. Have a chair close by. Do what you can and sit down. After a sufficient little rest, then you get back up and do it again. The idea, I guess, for certain things like your heart, the idea would be, my naturopath again said that I should work my way up to an hour continuously, okay? Not just an hour in time slots. Like 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. Those are good too, but she said an hour continually. And I couldn't do that, but it is true. The more you do it, the more you can do it. Did I say that okay? It becomes easier, is the thing. And then if you have a distraction, like that one day that I walked 5 miles, oh my. I didn't know where that came from, except for I probably was upset about something. And then I get this surge of energy, and then you go walking. So it's probably counting your steps, not just the distance, So I was probably walking pretty fast, which gave me more steps, which gave me the 5 miles, okay. Just trying to figure out how that worked. Okay, here we are. I don't want to go down to the river, I don't think. But it is all the trees that had leaves. The only thing that's green will be the pine trees. I need a drink of water. The evergreen trees. See, I knew I should have brought water with me. But didn't want to make my hands have to hold it. And I don't want to hold that either. I feel bad, okay? All right. Well, so I'm going to carry garbage around because I picked up some garbage. I shouldn't have done that. But I'll just do it anyway. Okay. My sister looked these up. I can't remember what it's called. It's some weird name. But the one with all these little balls. Can you see them? These are still green, but a lot of them are brown. But I just wondered, because they almost look like castor oil, the balls that you get castor oil out of. But I'm sure that would be called castor or something, right? Okay, I have to watch where I'm going. See the pine trees they're not pine trees, they're an evergreen. So I don't know what they're really called, but they are windbreak trees. I mean, in places where you don't have buildings to block the wind, they will plant trees like that. But these are also, I guess, privacy trees because they're just going to grow straight up and down as long as you keep them trimmed. I don't know how tall they'll get. I think they'll get pretty tall. You never know what you're headed into unless you pay attention. What does that tree look like fully grown? Anyway, it was this. Someone's garbage. I don't know if you saw that good enough, but it's cherry Coke, it looks like. Pepsi, excuse me. Pepsi is like my favorite out of the sodas, but I don't drink soda much. I try to drink water. I did buy some juice, but I haven't drank it, see, so that's good because Nancy says, that's fruit cocktail, or, I don't know what she said, something like that, cocktail. It's a cocktail juice instead of the real deal. All I know is I should have read it better. It looked like it was a good thing. Maybe it was 10% juice. Who knows? Instead of the real deal. I didn't pay attention very well. And I should have because I usually do. But I also don't usually buy juice. And reading the carbohydrates and all that good stuff and what kind of sugar is in it. Okay, I'm going to try to get rid of this crate. There's a cat. That's not their cat. But he's found a close place to be. You can stay there. I'm not going to knock you off. I'm going to go in this fence and put this, put this 12-pack thing in the garbage. I heard you, little one. Okay, let me get in here. Which one is it? I think it's the green one is the trash, but it's cardboard. Okay. Okay. Every neighborhood does things different. Hello, kitty. You're a pretty kitty. Okay. That is a pretty kitty. He's mostly black with white paws. Oh, and there's another cat coming up the road. See, they're both coming to see me. Oh. Well, it is good to have one thing done, even though it's late. It's way late. But in some ways, it's probably good. I'll be able to take 2 large suitcases, a carry-on, and my personal bag. That's within the cost of the ticket. So really, when you count that and the fact that I'm moving there, unless something happens to change that anyway, I will be moving there. I'll be trying to get my doctor set up, and in the meantime, I want to do some more investigating. I want to do a more knowledgeable choice of what it's doing to my body, the stuff they're putting in me. Hi, I'm doing great. Hope you are too. Well, thank you. You're welcome. I'll be talking to you. I'm not paying attention to the outer skirts of my circle here. I just talk away. Okay, we're on Voss. I'm just going to turn around and go back down the same street. That way I'm close to home. If my body says, hey, we got to stop. There's a polar bear. We'll come over here and look at the polar bear. And the snowman. Don't leave out the snowman. So anyway, my neighborhood up there, that house I lived in when I first got a house, is worth $500,000 at the least. It's on the east side. Yes, I see you. He's going to be moving his head in a minute. Unless he's censored, there he goes. I was going to say, unless he's censored to my voice. And he probably is censored. All right, take care. I know my sister thinks I'm crazy. I be talking to inanimate objects. I know they're inanimate, guys. Hey, looky there. Bet your dog would love that. Whoever has a boy. There's a fire hydrant. Not that that's a good idea. But don't they do that in the cartoons? I gotta walk slow. I'm gonna break my knee or something. I just be walking along fairly fast because I'm distracted. But it's good to be distracted. Now these guys are still there. Leaves are still on there. Wonder why. Do you think they were planted a little bit later than the other ones? And that there is an actual life span that they do their changing of things? There are some things that are like that. I can't remember what you would call it. But they have a growing season. And so they have a certain amount of days. And if the weather complies with it being conducive to be grown and not killed, then, you know, and I'm talking about pot, but I imagine there's the same thing in other things. They have, some seeds have a lifespan. You plant them, they go through their cycle, and they die. So I just wondered if you didn't plant them all at the same time, if you staggered it out. You can't see those. That's a nice wraparound porch. And then there's that tree in the corner there. It's really quite strange. But I can't get close enough to it, and I don't think you'll see it. But out of all the trees, this one and those two and that one, they just, maybe the wind hasn't come through here as rough and blown them out of the tree. I don't know. It's all along this road, though. They do have more leaves. So that's neither here nor there. I am distracted, and I am walking. And this fence is not bad. It's very nice. As long as your dogs don't dig out from underneath it. You know, if you had dogs that did that, if you had a dog in there and they were totally not happy and they wanted to get out, they'll get out. Because they got claws. And they'll dig right under that fence. But if they're happy and have no need to get out, maybe they'll stay in there. It is a nice tall fence. It's a really nice fence. The top's missing right there. Someone might have tried to climb over the fence. Or that's a gate, but I don't think it's a gate. It is a gate. Hinges. So that's why it doesn't have that cap on the top. It's really close to this fire hydrant, though. Then I don't know what that is. It's a holding place and a protection. I don't know what that is. And this right here, you take a little crowbar and pull it up, and I don't know, there's probably meters or a thing in there that you can turn to turn off the water. I bet. Kind of weird. So it's sticking up in the air. Yes, and I need to walk.
You want a treat back? It's about the Orden housing market, and it's got like a apple cider packet caramel.
Thank you. I'll take it to my sister.
You're welcome.
Are you someone who has to do with that open house around the corner somewhere?
I do not, but what can I help you with?
No, I was just wondering. There is, I was on my walk the other day, and I'm not sure which road, but there was a house that said take a self-tour. But I didn't, my sister wouldn't stop. And I don't want to, either because I'm not, it would just be a curiosity thing. What these houses look like, you know?
I've sold like 2 in the past year on Rodale, but I didn't have that one. I have one in Puyallup, one in Renton, and one in Tonato right now. So I don't have anything around here.
Well, the market around here is way past me. I couldn't afford it
I think
anyway.
the market everywhere is outpassing. Something's got to change, huh?
Yeah, and maybe it will.
Maybe it will. You never know.
I
You
think
never know.
Trump's going to do great things.
I
You're
do
going to
too.
hope so. The
I
gas
do
is
too.
already going down.
Yeah.
2.30 over in over by Denver. 2.30 a gallon for unleaded. And that was a week or so ago. Isn't that cool? Not here. When it says $4.29 a gallon up there, that is not Safeway. Safeway has a gas pump there. Those two, $3.59.
$3.59.
Yeah, but that's better than $4.29.
I always get my gas in Ording because anywhere I go, it's way more expensive.
Really?
Safeway's been the cheapest I've found.
Yeah, and I didn't realize. I thought the $4.29 was the Safeway. When I pulled in there, I didn't realize it was the Safeway gas station.
Yeah.
And I'm going, oh, that's cool, because I was expecting $4.29.
Yeah.
And I was griping all the way.
What is your name? I'm Ashley.
Hi, Ashley. I'm Mary Lou.
Nice to meet you, Mary Lou. Are you from Washington?
I have lived here, not in this neighborhood, but I've lived here a long time ago. And I can't remember the amount of years, like 30 years.
Are you from Washington now?
No.
Where are you from?
I was born in North Carolina.
Well, your name is Mary Lou, so I was like, that's her middle name. I was born in Tennessee.
Oh, really? You were?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
Yep, I moved.
Tennessee's at the end of, you've got North Carolina and then Tennessee, right?
That's correct.
Excellent, okay.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful there.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. North Carolina's gorgeous too.
Can I put you on here?
Yeah, hi. Are you doing a video?
Yeah, I am. I have a YouTube channel, and so I walk around talking to myself into my phone and to my people.
Awesome. Wow.
Yeah, and I don't probably have a card with me, but if you can remember, it's Lou's Touch.
Lou's Touch. And how do you spell your name? L-O-U?
L-O-U apostrophe S space T-O-U-C-H.
I got it.
Okay, I hope you'll remember. Try me out. Thank you.
Lou. I won't forget.
Okay, but it's Lou's Touch, all right?
Lou's Touch. Got it. Thank you.
Hey, thank you too. Lady on the street. See, that's nice. Now I'm going to smell like apple or something. She just gave me a bag of something. You guys heard what she said. Something about caramel. But it's like scent, a strong scent. I wonder what it is. I like to meet people. That's cool. Ording Housing Market. You know what? I should ask her name. All right, let's put some pieces of candy, and what it is I'll show you. But then it shows it in, let's see, I've got the insider information on the market. Come tonight. Well, that's sweet. You know, that's a good thing. She's marketing her business. And a real estate agent is what I should have been. I really should have. I mean, when the market is good, and the market is good closer to the cities and stuff, but you get out away from the city where there's a lacking of jobs and you got to drive so far. I mean, it just depends. You can get some really nice properties in the middle of nowhere because there's so many less people wanting that. I mean, there's a lot of people wanting it, and there's people wanting to get out of it because they need a job. But if you have a secured income, where you're going to get your income every month, that bothers me, but I know it's a censor, and if it's a censor, they should stop it because it's annoying. And here's the thing, I believe it is a sensor, and it comes on with that noise, and it's way loud. I'll be in my room over there, windows shut, and I'm doing a video. So those dogs you hear are those, but I swear it is. I'm not gonna go around. I gotta stop. That's a nice tree right there. You probably can't see it. Okay. It almost would look like it's fake. I wonder if it is. It's got Christmas lights on it. I don't think it is. If it is fake, it's damn good. But you know what? These days it could be. So there's this one. And then over here is another one. And it's got lights on it. So I should come out here at night and share. There's Christmas trees up by the door and Christmas trees out here. I love it. Wonder who that is. Okay. It's probably someone delivering food. If I was braver, like I used to be. It is nice. It would be nice doing it with two people. So you have company and you got a navigator and one can drive and one can drop off or whatever. But I don't know. Nancy's doing a killer job. See these guys? I think I might have tried to show you these guys. And at night they're got their lights on inside, but then look at those bushes too. That's a nice corner wraparound porch. Been here in about 5 years. Maybe less. You know, I don't know how fast those trees grow. But you'll have that whole porch covered where you can go out on the porch and have the breeze, be outside, but no one will see you. As long as it doesn't take over your house. Okay. I do. I need to go sit down. My back is saying, hey, girl. See, I haven't been taking my pain pills. Which I'm glad, because I don't want to have to be taking pain pills. Your body might build up a tolerance to it, and then you have to have it more and more. And you might feel a little bit weird taking those things. Depends on what you're taking. My back hurts. I just need to do my smoothies every day, and then I need to get all the ingredients like the spinach. And I haven't had bok choy, but what they're doing is you put it in the blender, and then it's made into mush. It's made into your smoothie. Just make it cold. And so the strawberries and the blueberries being frozen helps it be cold. Now, there's many ways to make a smoothie. Okay, I'm gonna have to come in and sit down. Do 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 do. Bless you, little girl. You better stop it. You're on my movie. Oh my. Well, this is so tempting. I'm gonna have to stop and visit the pie. You see, I just walked around this whole thing. It's like, oh, I want a piece of that pie. Should I say goodbye? I just want a piece of that pie. Sounds like a rhyme for a movie. You know, I should cut me a piece of that pie. Or just take, where's my fork? That's not my fork. Oh, my fork is right there. It was on top of it. It's too dark in here. Yes, I got my shades on. I gotta cut me a piece. Yes, doing that which I should not ought to do. I'm gonna sit you down for a second. I'm eating, I'm sorry. Pecan pie. I need to turn the lights on. It's like temptation, you know? Temptation right in your face. I wanted to use less light bulbs. Mm, 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 mm. I want that. Terrible. What a temptation. Yep, I have to have it. Did you guys have a good Thanksgiving? I think this was bought after Thanksgiving. It was like one of those things where, oh, we like that. It is good. I'm sorry. We'll turn you that way. I want that pie. All right. I'll make it where I have to come down that stairs in order to have it. But it's so good. Turn on the light so I can see. It's 15 steps. Okay, I guess I can turn that light off. I'll be in my room in a second. There. Yeah, well, I walked. I wonder how far. Not very far, I'm sure. Oh, I gotta sit in that rocking chair. I should have sat in my car. My seat, you know, where I would drive, makes my back feel good. So that's why I say that. I want to sit down and have my back feel good, sit in the car, like when I'm out walking. But it does have an alarm on it, so I've been a little leery. If I don't have the key on me, if it starts making a big old noise, I won't have something to stop it. But that thing is nice. I haven't tried it out yet. I need to do that. I just remembered that it will start itself. I just push a button on the inside of the house and the car will start itself. So it'll either cool off or it'll warm up, depending on how you have it set. That's pretty nifty. Instead of having to go out into the cold and the snow and try to get ice off your windows. And yeah, there are some smarter people putting things on the window at night. You know, like put a sheet over it. And then, I mean, you got to make sure it doesn't come off. But over your windshield, over your hood, you can have a big old sheet or a big old blanket. And then in the morning, you just come out and pull that off. And then your windows are clean. Of course, it has to dry off somewhere. But I was just talking, using something you already have. I'm sure they have stuff that's all plastic and stuff. So anyway, it would appear that all I do is talk on this thing. I've got to do better than that. What time is it anyway? I need to find a doctor over by my daughter's, but I have not started my search. And since I have my plane ticket now, then things are kind of set. Um, and we made it so that I can have, if I already said this, I'm sorry. I can have 2 large check-ins and your carry-on and your personal. Whereas I was going to go by Frontier, because I can get normally if I'd been looking ahead of time and knew what I was doing and had a plan and a date and all that stuff, I would have had a really good ticket a long time ago, because of buying it in advance. But I waited too long, and then I found a really good ticket, but it was on the day that I had my treatments. So it was like, okay, should I take my treatments or should I not? And then Frontier, I don't know if I already said it, pardon me if I did, because I do repeat myself. You get no luggage. I think that's what I'm trying to say to you people. You don't get luggage, you only get your personal item, and then you pay for each thing after that. So I'm going to get 2 large check-ins. And Nancy's got a large suitcase she's going to let me have. She said Anthony gave it to her, and now she's giving it to me. And then, it'll just get passed around to whoever needs it if you're in town and around. Like what I'm doing right now is trying to pack up all my stuff and donate stuff that I don't need. My daughter said, "Purge, woman." I have been purging, but nevertheless, so I was going through stuff. I had boxes in there, and they were books. I wanted Mom and Dad's books. Very important to me, and very good books. But you got to have a place for them. My daughter don't want me to have them there, and I don't want to just donate them. I mean, like I looked at one book, and the back of it said $34.95. That was what it was new, and it's a Gerald One book. So I mean, there's certain books I'm not going to let go of unless I'm sharing it with family members, and then that I can pick them up later on or whatever. The whole idea is to be able to use them, right? But what I got to do is just figure it all out. I have one large suitcase. Nancy's going to let me have this other one, and that's what I was telling you is, it'll go, what goes around comes around type of deal. But in this case, I will be able to fly there and basically pack up most of what I've got and take to Jesse's. I didn't realize that all those boxes were a lot of books, and I don't have the books that I wanted. I was stupid. I should have got them too, unless Nathan got them. Nathan might have got them. I hope he did. I do kind of have this memory, something about those books and him. So there's 7 volumes, I believe. I don't think there's 9. But there's a lot of volumes, okay? And volume 1 was missing. And the thing is, I have listened to those deals, and they're so good. And they did bring my testimony up. I mean, brought me back into not really the straight and narrow, but kind of sort of, for a few years. I went to the temple. I have partaken of that. Everybody, people. The church is for everybody. And it is going on right now as we speak all over the world. And the doctrine is all the same. The books, we teach out of all the same books. We have all kinds of things going on for our youth in a very wonderful situation. It really is, and it's worldwide, people. I don't know how to explain that to you unless you partake of it. Say you live over here, okay, and you've lived there a couple years and you've gotten to know everybody in your ward, and then all of a sudden you move somewhere else because a husband transferred or your mom and dad had control of your life and they were transferred or they decided to get a job somewhere else, then there you are. You're leaving all your friends and family behind. Your high school, I was in high school at one place. Before that, I think I counted it up, 22 different schools. So you really don't have time to make good friends. You're always the new kid. You're always outsider, basically, until you get to know people. And then about the time you get to know them, up you go somewhere else. But it's really not as big a deal as I'm making it, okay? That has its good points and its bad. So you get to, and let me add a little bit more, the church. You get to know everybody at church. And then you go somewhere else and you get to know those people. And in the meantime, we have these stakes. And then I think there's regions even. Okay, it's a geographical thing all over the world. I don't know how to quite explain it, but you'll know what I'm talking about. We play games. We have tournaments with those games. Like when I was young, I played volleyball. I played basketball. Not saying I was really great at it or anything. You play to play the game and the camaraderie and all that good stuff. But the point is, as you're growing up, if you're in it when you're a child, as you're growing up, you're still doing the same things everywhere you go. And all people feel a little insecure, but you develop because we have to give talks. Excuse me, we're asked to give a talk. And we're given a subject or an article to read and talk on that as children, okay? So you're learning how to speak in front of people and give talks, even if they're just little, because by the time you grow up, it's a lot more than that. There's a network all over the world going on. And there's an apostle. Let's see, there's a prophet. There is a prophet at the head of the church today. Russell, I think is his last name. I should know him because he is the prophet. He was a heart surgeon at one time. But he is the head of the church. So for Jesus Christ is the head of the church, okay? Through that guy. What's his name, people? I know you know it. Gordon B. Hinckley comes to mind, but that's a couple of prophets back. There's a succession that goes on, and depending on when they became an apostle, I think that's how it is chronologically. It's not how old. I'm sure it's not how old, because the seniority, as you came in to be an apostle, I think that's where you stay in your line. Okay, there's so many ahead of you, and then there's been new ones after you. And so it all works up, and the one in the highest seniority is the one who will be the next prophet. I mean, it's already determined. Okay, so it's not a big deal to figure that out. I don't know why I said that, but it's probably important that I said it. Someone needed that. The church is just wonderful. That's what I was talking about, the organization of the church. So I grew up in it. So, I mean, I was in a road show, meaning I was up on the stage when I was a young thing. I was probably in the 8th grade. I was in the 8th grade. I was just a stick. A little stick. Yeah, it's weird. I never started developing till I was 14. Everybody else was all passing me by way. Plus, I was always the new one, like I said. Because in the 8th grade, I was in Smithville, North Carolina. In the 9th grade, I was in Sandy, Utah. But I did get to stay in one place for my high school years, one area. And that was an experience, too, because that's living in Sandy, Utah. That is living in the valley of Salt Lake Valley. Okay? Salt Lake City is up yonder. And then there's this street called State Street. People, I mean, the teenagers would cruise up and down it. I think it had 2 lanes on each side. And I could be wrong. It might have just been 1 lane on each side. But I'm thinking it was 2. And just like on happy days, you know, the kids would drive their cars up and down and talk to, you know, that's how they hooked up, I guess. Okay. Anyway, so you got Salt Lake City, and then you got State Street. And State Street will take you all the way down to Sandy. Okay, you're going to go through Murray. I'm not sure of all the different little cities. You know, they're all attached. So you leave one place, and when you hit a certain address, then you're at another place, a town. Anyway, we lived in Sandy. So what was the point? That was on 90th South. You know, there's a temple on 90th South now. Tripping. I had a nightmare. I had a dream. I do have dreams sometimes that are true, are real. Sometimes there's just a little bit of, it's hidden. The meaning is hidden. But I had a dream. And I was married. Okay, I got married at 17. And I was living in Sandy. I was living on 90th South, basically, because we lived in an apartment on 90th South. But over further, I was trying to figure out if that's west. I think it is west, because east side always seems to be more expensive. So anyway, west, off of 90th South, they have a temple now. And that temple, check this out. That temple is like 1 house down from my trailer that I used to live in with Jessica. When I was a brand new mother and I had gone through a divorce and I had my child, and I don't know how that got hooked up, but I got a trailer, a 12-foot by 60-foot mobile home. And, you know, back then it was just a stretch of mobile homes, not very many, we'll say 10. And that's probably overreaching it, I don't know. But you know what I mean. Someone had a section of land right there, not a whole section because that's 640 acres, but a piece of land right there that they had put 6 or 7 or 10 mobile homes on. Okay, so I lived in the second mobile home, so there was one in between me and a temple. Now, the reason I'm telling you that is because I'm fixing to tell you another story, and that plays into it. It's weird. Really weird. I don't know why I had that dream. You know, I'm trying to summon it up right now as to get all the details, but I won't get all the details. But what happened, what was going on? There was a temple right there. And see, there wasn't a temple. There was not a temple. It was just out in the country, just some trailers. And I moved away when my daughter was 2. I moved up to Washington where Mom and Dad were. And I'd already moved up there, and it's here, up here in the Vancouver area. I'd already moved in with them before, when Jessica was like 4 weeks old. I don't even know if she was 4 weeks old. I traveled from Utah, because that's where I had her. I traveled from Utah up to Washington and stayed with Mom and Dad for a little while. I went and started taking classes at Clark College. I was doing really good, like 100%. And those classes were typing and mastering 10-key calculators and algebra. I think it was just 3 classes. Oh, 4. Did I say typing already? So, typing and mastering 10-key calculators and algebra. Okay, so maybe there was just 3. Nevertheless, later on, I went and took a secretarial course where I needed that stuff anyway. So it was good that I took it already. So I had a brush-up course Just learning something is not always so easy to do. Some of our minds, I'll talk about my mind, some of my mind, it took me to endeavor to learn how to type. And it's not just learning how to type. What you had to do was learn how to spell. You had to learn what those words meant, vocabulary-wise. For this course that I took, it was being a secretary. It was a secretarial science course. So I learned a lot of different things. And it was so that I could go be an executive secretary or executive assistant or whatever. But that was a long time ago. My daughter was really quite young. I think she was maybe 2 when I started that course. And I'd already been to some courses at Clark College, like I said, But that was when she was a little teeny thing. I mean, because maybe I came right away. I don't know how long it was before I came to Mom and Dad's, because me and her dad had separated and he was getting a divorce from me. And so that was a weird time, very weird time. Oh, I got so much to do. I don't even want to think about it. But I look in there and I can see. But I took out, I started emptying some boxes so I could consolidate. And I was surprised to find that I had so many books. So if I'm not taking a lot of books with me, then I should be able to pack up everything, I think. I don't know. I'm going to have to ship some things. Wish I knew. But see, this will be the best. It'll be the best. I can spend some quality time with my family. And if I don't do anything with my little house, come spring, I'll go do that. Because I think it's going to be good. You never know how it'll be when you're in someone else's space, especially when you haven't seen them in years. It's been 2 years since I saw her last. Except for, no, that's not true, because she just came in for Dad's funeral. And it was nice to see her. It's nice to gather with everybody in the family. I mean, that's one of the good things. And I was telling you on one of these videos about having the right to die. You should go find that video. I bet you could type in the search bar, right to die, RIGHT, to die, DIE, on, lose, touch, LOU apostrophe S, TOUCH. Oh, yes, I gotta quit rocking. I want to go have something good to eat. I had my smoothie. I'm glad about that, because that was good food.